So today our guest is Ivana Chubbuck, creator of the Chubbuck Technique, author of the book The Power of the Actor. Her technique and this book being sold all over the world. She's very renowned. I've studied with her, but very many famous people have: Brad Pitt, Charlize Theron, Halle Berry, James Franco, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jim Carrey, Chris Pine, Beyonce, the list goes on. So today we're here to talk to her about her book. So welcome, Ivana.
Hi, how are you? It's
Good.
been a while.
It's been a while. You're the author of the book, The Power of the Actor, and it's been translated into many languages. It's available all over the world. And now it's been translated into Chinese. That's a quarter of the world's population. How do you feel about that?
Well, one of the important concepts of what I teach and what I explain in my book is really the power of the actor is an accurate title because I'm all about empowerment. Too many times people, and this is true of people all over the world, they give away their power. They don't acknowledge the fact that they do have empowerment in their life. They have choices to make, and those choices are whether you can take information. Life happens, pain happens, trauma happens, and most people take that information and self-destruct with that information. They sabotage themselves. They become defeated by that information. But in the same regard, you could take the anger and the pain and the hurt, and it's the most powerful fuel to actually use it to overcome and win and accomplish anything that you want. We have the power to do that.
So when I first met you 18 years ago here in this studio, I remember you were coaching me once and you said to me, you know, you should do comedy or funny. And I said, no, actually, I'm not funny at all. And I'm like not a joke person. You're like, no, 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 you're funny. And I said, no, I'm not. And you go, no, 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 funny to laugh at. Okay? And your class and that comment really changed my life. So my point is that you have a real talent, is a real gift for seeing in an actor what their strengths are. How do you do that?
I'm just a very intuitive person. Like I watch people's behavior and I feel you and I connect to you. And that's why oftentimes people think I'm psychic because like I'll say, you're going through this, you've had this happen to you in your past. And how do you know this? And I said, your behavior talks to me.
Let's talk Sylvester Stallone. You just coached him on the movie Creed, which I saw, an incredible movie. I love Sylvester Stallone because he is the master of reinvention. He is constantly changing, which you have to do in this business. And I really saw a departure for him. This was something very new. How did you get him to that? How did you help him to get to that level?
First of all, I want to give Stallone major respect because the fact is he didn't have to come to me. He's rich, he's an icon, as a character he's played in 5 other movies. So it was like he had no need to do it, but he said to me, I want to keep learning. I don't want to ever stop learning. I want to grow and be better. And so I said, okay, let's look at Rocky and let's transcend the original Rocky, because Rocky, when we first started seeing Rocky, was a guy who was like, anything could happen, because new at this, I haven't had the struggle and the obstacles of a long life of loss and hurt and pain, and that the idea that he was massively hopeful in the first episode of Rocky to where he's at right now for real. He has lost his best friend, he lost his wife, he lost his child, doesn't want to really communicate with him anymore. And so what's the point of continuing to live? And in the movie, he has, I'm going to spoiler alert, he ends up getting a life-threatening disease. And I said, let's look at this as, like, do I really want to keep living? Maybe this is an opportunity to get rid of the pain once and for all and not live at all. And so Creed, the Creed's kid, it's like, you have to earn the right to make me want to stay alive. So I'm going to make you, I'm going to create the reality of pushing you, and I'm going to make you be the resource of someone who's going to have to drive me to want to keep on living.
Now, of course, I've read your incredible book, The Power of the Actor, but I want to hear in your own words, What exactly is the Chubbuck technique? How would you, in your own words, describe it to someone?
A lot of people ask me, like, how did this technique become, I mean, how'd you come up with this? And basically, it's a survival tool, to be a survivor. And that even the worst of circumstances, it's to be able to take that information and explore not only survival but prosperity, because it creates much more dynamic character, because we always want to watch someone win against all obstacles more than we want to watch somebody sit in their pain.
What's the best piece of advice you would give to a new actor just starting out today?
I think the first thing that a person needs to do is study, study, study. The thing that I find that makes people really have successful careers is study, education. Education is so key.
What's the best advice someone ever gave you?
Always take risks. Don't be afraid to color outside the lines, to cross boundaries, to push the envelope, make bold choices. Charlize Theron, when she talked about me in the actor's studio, she said, I learned more in class when she was in my class when she fell on her face. And that's the truth of it, you do. But you have to have the fearlessness to do that.
You have worked with so many famous people. And I know you can't talk about all of them, that some of this is very hush-hush, but tell us some stories that you can share with us.
Charlize Theron, when she had Devil's Advocate, she had done nothing before. It was a big studio movie opposite Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves. They couldn't get her audition out of their head. Yeah. And so they said, well, you're not the right type. She was too young, she was too pretty. They said, so it's not gonna go any further. But they couldn't get her the audition out of their head. So they brought her back, and we upped the stakes, and we brought more Charlize to the party, more stuff, more details. But we never tried to please what was on the paper, ever. And she came back in again. This happened like about 5 times. And ultimately, as we know, she got cast. And she was getting better reviews than Al Pacino was.
So again, actors all over the world and everybody in general should read this book, The Power of the Actor. It's very empowering as an individual and as an actor. And it's available. It's published here through Postwave Publishing Consulting. If you can't find it in a store near you, do not hesitate to give them a call and tell them you need to bring it out. The number is 8610-2407-2833, extension 8079. Again, we've had the privilege of having Ivana Chubbuck here in the studio. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mm-hmm.